can provide versus what students need is a huge gap. I don't think that a lot of people are aware of just how much time it takes to remediate a reading problem if a child has one. It is a very significant enterprise, and schools just do not have the delivery mechanism for that.
One of the criticisms I've heard from parents, although it may not be justified, is that there is less time spent on the basic sort of math and language, and now much more time spent on other things, which is, you know, teaching values and teaching all sorts of other things, you know, financial literacy and all the things that used to be really under the parents'
The domain of parents, yes, that's true. And I think there's some truth to that argument. I guess the other side of it is if the parents can't or won't provide it, then who does? So schools have definitely watered certain things down. I think a great deal of time is still spent on basics, but I don't think the teaching methods are necessarily good ones. They don't lead to the outcomes that we want. Well, if you look at math scores, for example, across the country, they've been declining for the last 5 years. And I think it has a lot to do with methodology. So teaching methodology, not necessarily how much time they're actually getting, but children are exposed to, let's say, manipulatives, you know, to learn math skills, but they are sort of encouraged to develop their own strategies for multiplication now. They never encourage, it seems, to the point of just sort of going from there to making those 8 times 7 tables automatic. You know, do you know what I'm saying? So there's a lack of a leap there. So, for example, in my clinic, I test children using a math test that we've developed that is geared to the curriculum. So the Alberta curriculum, now we're going to come into Toronto, we're going to use the Ontario curriculum standards. And I have a clinic in BC as well, so we use the BC curriculum standards. You have a child, say, in grade 3 or 4, and you ask them to do 8 times 7.
Right.
They'll start drawing circles.
Yeah.
They'll draw circles, they'll draw circles, they'll draw circles, and then they might have the idea correct, but then they have to start counting within the circles. So they come up with an answer like, 52.
Right.
Because they've miscounted.
Whatever happened to the times tables we used to have to
Exactly,
memorize?
exactly.
I mean, it was an exercise, but I remember them now. Like,
You do, and you remember them. It's important that it's not just memorization. You probably understood the concept. So
Exactly.
the child does need to understand the concept. And so when they draw the little circles like that, it shows an understanding of the concept. But you have to take the next step and make it internal. You have to make it in their head, turn it into their head.
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.